The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn, damn, damn!
All right. Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, and we are back. And, John, you didn't see yourself in the intro.
I did not.
I took the picture. I'm watching you the whole time while the intro's going. He's not even going to look. It's the picture with your guitar. It's like your profile picture.
Oh, funny. Yeah. I had no idea I was writing something down.
Oh, it's hilarious. And Jukebox, how's that mic working now? We got you? Nothing.
No, we sure don't.
Is the blue light on? You don't need a light. It should be blue. Unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know why.
You kids and your modern technology. We got an old analog microphone here. It has to run through 17 different things.
All right.
To get to you.
Now go into the settings and assign the mic. Dave's got it's not an R8. This is a buddy of mine's, just American. What do they call it? The standard. Hey Terry, how are you? We're trying to get Jim's mic to work here. We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's not an R8. It's but it's pretty nice. It's just the neck is too thin. But I was over his house the other day helping him with some stuff. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's the one whose guitars I use all the time, over time, and then they eventually become mine. And he has cancer now, and so I went over to his house, and I'm like, well, I'm going to use your Les Paul for a bit, make a couple of videos. I mean, he ain't going anywhere. It's funny. I went with him to his doctor, and he's asking all kinds of questions. I said, listen, Al, as long as you're here to drive me nuts, you ain't going anywhere, because he drives me bonkers.
Mm.
No. He got that back a while ago. I didn't even have the room for it in my house. I'm like, I have these cases. You guys can't really see all the cases, but you can see a bunch of cases. Jim, I'm waiting for that mic to click in. No, I would hear it. What about turn the volume all the way up on it?
I bet you got to
go into your audio, go into your laptop audio and make sure there isn't an X over it to stop all audio. Make sure that's on 10. And why he's not seeing it? When you go into the settings, is it set to that mic? You're obviously talking. You got to shake your head for me. Shake for me, girl. I want to be a backdoor man.
Shake it. Shake
Um,
it.
So it doesn't. Does it show you the mic when you go into settings and it says audio?
Mm.
No, that's not good.
You know, I went to the doctor yesterday.
Yeah.
I had my first appointment in a while. The doctor goes, "All right, you got to drop them." And I hear the gloves smack, and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know you guys did this anymore." And he goes, "John, this is the only part of my job I enjoy." And I thought,
That's so wrong.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can go to your mic.
And that never
settings.
happened, folks.
No, you made it up. Excellent.
Check.
There
Hey,
you go.
something.
Now
Working?
I hear you. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
All right, now move the mic down
check.
a little bit. Let me tell you, move the mic down to the side a little bit. Some of these, there's a lady out there. Maybe she wants to see a handsome face on here. There we go. All right, Jukebox Jim is in the house, and we have audio. Pull it down a little bit. You look like you're ready to start round
In this
5
corner,
of the fight. Right,
weighing in
exactly. Make it a clean fight.
no hitting
There's
below the belt.
a great naked gun line for you. Oh, it's the police squad. Can you beat him? With my arm tied behind my back. No, with an arm tied behind my back. What if his arm's not tied behind your back? I can still beat him. 2 ladies. All right. The ladies are liking the DL show. Anyways, folks, it's Wednesday. I'm expecting Joe. Matt is ill. And Krellbar is at some horror movie festival or something. I forget what. He went to go see some like 36th anniversary of some movie.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
There.
So that was
Very
that.
good.
Oh, you know what, John? I was talking about you last night with one fellow you might know by the name of RL.
Heard of him.
Yeah, he was asking how you're going along in the thing because RL has started his carnivore journey.
Okay, great.
He's 2 weeks in.
I'm still going strong. I'm a little disappointed in my own weight loss, but I think it has more to do with like me not moving. Like I've been in the last couple weeks, I have done 0 exercise.
Yeah.
But I've been perfect with the diet. I'm down like I think this month I lost like 8 pounds.
Oh, that's all right.
Which I'll take, but like always, I wish it was 20. But
do you like chicken? Do you guys like chicken soup?
What'd you say?
Do you guys like chicken soup at all?
Yeah,
sure.
I watched this woman's carnivore channel, and I made today. You take 6 chicken thighs and you skin down in a cast iron skillet till it starts smoking up the whole house. They basically said until the fire engines come, keep the thing going. Then you douse it in water, flip its skin up, fill it up with water in the cast iron pan, put it in the oven for an hour. Now this thing is like oozing juiciness and everything. Then you take the skins back out. You rip the skins off the chicken and you put it back in a smaller pan and you're frying that up in bacon grease. And you take all the meat off the bone, you put it in, and you put all that good water. It's basically soup. It's fantastic. I used a little white pepper, a lot of salt.
I thought you were going to say after you put it in that smaller pan, then you take a smaller cast iron and you put the skin in there with some water and you put it in the oven for an hour.
Exactly.
You take the skin out and
fried in bacon grease.
Smaller pan.
I actually did use 2 cast iron pans, though, so it's not that far off. You pretty much.
I just bought my first cast iron pan.
Oh, they're the
awesome.
Best. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, there's nothing like seasoning a cast iron pan with bacon fat by making bacon every day in it.
Oh, I've been doing that.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's good. But anyways, I don't know what Joe is. Joe was, I expected him here. I didn't expect a no-show.
So what's going on with RL's diet? You say
what's that?
What's up with RL's diet? You said he's 2 weeks in.
2 weeks in. I think he's like 2 weeks and 2 days counting today. He seems very gung-ho about it. I know he's down 12 pounds or something.
Wow, for real?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Without exercise?
Yeah. Well, with he walks and stuff. Let me tell you. So I have theories that are not mainstream. And here's one of them. I don't believe in calories. I don't believe that calorie in, calorie out works. I don't believe when we exercise that we're burning calories. I do believe that it's all hormones. And that when we exercise, especially walking or running, we move the soleus muscle in the calf. Which causes a lack of insulin response. It's a direct hormone that affects insulin, and endorphins and everything else. All those hormones are what make for weight loss. Because let's put it this way: if I put somebody on a diet of 2,000 calories, and I gave them all meat and all fat and butter and chicken, they'd lose weight like crazy. But I give them 2,000 calories of Krispy Kreme donuts a day. I'm not joking. They're going to get fat. So the calorically can't be a difference. You can't say, oh, well, those calories are different. No. Calorie in, calorie out says that a fat is 9 grams of 9 calories, and carbohydrates and proteins are 4 calories. Right. So therefore, they use it as a unit of energy. It isn't like there's this, not all are created. No, they are created equal. They're a number of unit force of energy. Therefore, our bodies cannot be working that way, because when I started my carnivore diet, I was on a low-fat diet, 1,800 calories a day, couldn't lose a pound. And the only thing I changed was I bumped my calorie intake to 3,000 calories and no more carbs, which would less insulin response, and boom.
Yeah.
I lost 20 pounds in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Maybe calories. Crazy. I mean, calories are a unit of energy burned. Maybe calories in, calories out is wrong. Maybe calories out is something. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, you gotta, you do this exercise, you burn this much, but maybe calories in is not as advertised. Like I just
don't think either way works, because can you get calories from sugar? You can get calories from sugar, but what does that have to? What I'm saying is your body, it's a unit of energy. If you ingest, let's just say you have a meal, and your meal is bacon, eggs, and cooked in butter. All right, that's your meal. So the only thing that's going to set off your insulin is the protein. And the protein has a very mild insulin response. Insulin's job in the body is the hormone that takes the things and brings the proteins to the muscle and fat to the store and converts sugar to fat, and basically stores fat and moves protein along. So you move the protein along, but you're not storing any fat. In fact, your body's not even paying attention to the crazy amounts of fat you're taking in. You're just losing weight. Now, if you had that eggs with a bagel with cream cheese, and on the bagel you threw strawberry jam, well, now your insulin's going crazy, right? Now, let's say so your insulin's going nuts. So now you're going to store the entire meal because your body wants to store that as fat. And if you're arguing with me about calories, you could just double the bacon and eggs on the other meal to make up for the calories that's in the strawberry jam and the cream cheese and bagel. But what I'm saying is the one that's eating all the protein with no carbs is not going to store fat. Well, that goes against calorie in, calorie out, because we're not dealing with calories. We're dealing with hormones and a system that, let me just explain, I don't think doctors fully understand. And I think I think some do, because I got mine from it was a study done by a doctor who made this claim, and I think he's 100% right.
Yeah, but it was
doctor. Yeah. You guys know my doctor, right? Dr. Vinny Boombatz.
That's the one.
Hey.
That's the one.
The guy told me to go jogging 5 miles a day. I called him 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I called him. I said, I'm 70 miles from my house. What do I do now?
I love that joke.
That's right. That's a great rod.
I have another harebrained theory about this whole deal. My theory is less tested, but it's simply that Russian Jews lose weight quickly.
Oh, they do. With O negative blood.
There you go.
Tell your wife to quit bringing all those Fritos.
Dude, she's the worst. She's the worst.
Yeah. I'm telling you, so, there's so many different studies, but I'll tell you right now, folks, I've talked about carnivore. I actually started another channel that I'm going to talk more about the diet and more about my calorie theory and my working out theory, because I do tend to like the Arthur Jones, Mike Mensa, Dorian Yates mentality. But the main thing,
once a week?
Well, not once a week, but like one body part, very few reps, get in, get out.
I thought Mike I thought Mike he like David Paul told me that he used to just beat himself up one day a week and then just rest the rest of the week. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
He must have had crazy genetics to be able to do that.
No, it was actually that's what he trained Dorian too to do that.
Dorian,
basically, Dorian worked out way less once he met Mike. But it's all the guy who started it all was a guy named Arthur Jones. Arthur Jones was an exercise physiologist guy who basically started Nautilus.
Oh, yeah.
And his kid is the one who started Hammer Strength. Yeah. But what I was going to say was, I was going to say something about the diet. I can't remember now. About my whole thing about calorie in, calorie out. And yeah, I mean, I'll talk more about that on the other channel. I didn't really want to go down a rabbit hole, but I do have a lot of people that are trying. Sorry?
You were talking about Mike Mensa and all those other guys.
Well, yeah, those guys have a different view of exercise physiology. And so I'm going to do like stuff on all that kind of thing of where I'm at and where my mind's at. But mainly what I was going to say is regardless of what diet you decide to choose to do, whether you're vegan, carnivore, or ketovore, or you're into keto, the one thing I can tell you that I know with certainty is to stay the fuck away from seed oils. Stay away from canola oil, corn oil. That is the absolute enemy of your body. And sugar is not nearly as bad as you think. Olive oil is a pulp oil. It's the pulp of but it's not as bad, but it's still too high, in my opinion, in omega-6 fatty acid, linoleic acid. So I say no, stay away from it.
So what do you do? You use butter, a lot of butter?
I live on butter. Butter, bacon fat. Own some Doves on the seafood diet. He sees food.
Are you married to Mrs. Buttersworth?
Oh, I love butter. Who doesn't love butter?
Oh, it's so good.
I'll tell you right now, and don't be
golden sugar.
If I feel a little bit hungry, like right before I smoke a cigar, I'm like, you know what? I open up one of those restaurant butter pads.
A little pat of butter.
Carl Peace is in the chat. Carl Peace, you're 100% right. I always try to tell people just stay away from it. In moderation, olive oil and avocado oil are fine. I definitely wouldn't heat them up because they are an unstable oil and therefore they can oxidize, and oxidize when they're in your system. It's not that great. So I agree with that.
Who in the hell wants?
What does that mean? What does it mean, oxidize?
It oxidizes. It oxidizes. It basically goes rancid in your system, and it can cause a lot of problems. So the main thing is stay away from all oils. I tell people, can you have olive oil? Yeah, but you shouldn't have it all the time.
Who
wants coconut oil is
olive
fine.
Oil when you could cook with butter? Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, but olive oil, yeah. So that's the whole thing. But I'm saying, like, what I'm talking about, my belief is that this is the cause of obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Is all, in my opinion, if you look at the consumption of seed oils in the United States, the number has gotten it's so high in our diets. Go look at anything in your kitchen. Go look at those Fritos that you were just talking about. Everything's made with soybean oil or cottonseed oil or canola oil. It's all poison. So if you cut that out of your diet, even eating a lot of sugar is should not make you obese. Not what's going on in the world today.
Not if you're active.
I see guys walking down the street and they have an ass in the front. You know what I'm talking about. Someone who looks like they put their ass on backwards.
Why didn't anybody tell me my ass was so fat?
They've got such fat around their testicles. Like, who knows if they even know what their testicles look like? They're walking around with like, I honestly, I can't figure it out when I see them. I'm like, is that your stomach hanging into your pants? Or is something else going on down here?
Like a flap, like one of those bags.
I don't know. Folks, and I'm not trying to haunt you or scare you. This is all for entertainment. Yes, Carl, you're right. Carl, you got to come on the show, Carl. You got a camera? Carl's a good buddy of mine, everybody. One of my good smoking buddies. If Carl, let me just explain to Bingham and Jukebox Jim. Carl Peace is the cigar industry version of Mark Spiewak.
Oh,
he knows everybody. He knows everybody.
He never met a cigar he didn't smoke, huh?
Right. The guy in the bottom is Jukebox Jim.
Hey,
Janice,
Carl.
Jukebox and I met Jukebox in 97, I want to say. We were introduced by David Paul, one of the Barbarian brothers. And he came and worked for me and Bingham Bingham was there after you, Jim. But he came to work for me 2006. And the three of us all worked together at one point. You could see there was nothing getting done at the shop. We just sit around talking about movies and diets.
We'd be in the acoustic room jamming.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Oh, yeah, and then we did have Kovar in there.
Yeah, he was always in the acoustic
talk about getting
room.
nothing done.
Right. Hey, Kovar, can you restock that wall? Yeah, I would, but I'm going to go play Watcher of the Skies for 20 minutes in the fucking acoustic room. Oh, thanks. Okay, good play the old Genesis stuff. He loves Steve Hackett.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he loved Hackett.
Yeah, he still does.
Who did you like better, Steve Hackett or Buddy Hackett?
I like Buddy Hackett.
Of course, Buddy Hackett's the best.
Ed Dana's on point here. He says butter's cheap, but good Irish butter is awesome. I agree.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, Kerry
What
Gold.
about Danish butter? Like I see Danish butter.
Where it's at.
Kerry Gold. Now, Kerry Gold. Now you live not too far from the Costco there in Culver City. Both of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they also have Kirkland butter, which is New Zealand grass-fed butter, which is also excellent.
Mm.
Yeah.
So all butters are not alike.
Kerry Gold is the premium.
It should be the industry standard, right?
Yeah.
It's so good.
If you have a VIP table at a restaurant and they bring you the rolls, they should say, "And here's your Kerry Gold, sir. Thank you."
Exactly.
It's the Grey Poupon of butter. It's good. It really is. Anyways, what else
are you buying the silver package, the non-salted, or are you buying the salted?
I always buy salted.
Yeah.
And
salt's good.
Then I douse salt on it.
I don't know why anybody would buy the unsalted. I don't get
it. I salt the piss out of it. Ooh, I love an HVC 60. Carl Peace is smoking a great cigar right now. It's a great cigar. What would you use stir fry like for chicken? Well, I don't stir fry anything because, if I'm going to use like what kind of oil, I would use bacon fat. I store all my bacon fat. I also use beef tallow a lot. Beef tallow is probably the most flavorless, like where you wouldn't know, it would just taste like oil to you. That's why McDonald's used it for their French fries for so many years and everything else. But yeah, I use beef tallow, and you can buy it in a store, beef tallow.
Also,
with
something like chicken stir fry, you could just put a little bit of butter to lubricate the pan, right? But then just use thighs instead of breasts because they're so fatty that as they cook, you won't need oil. It'll be fine.
Yeah, totally. And that's what I use as chicken thighs. That's a great point.
There you go.
That's great. 1-800-266, folks. You're the next caller on the That Guy Show.
I love that Randy Marsh. Pan pan roasted chicken.
Oh, that's the absolute greatest. What does he say though? He's got like what's the word that he uses? I would something the hell out of that.
Right, a flambe.
Marinate.
Flambe.
Flam.
Oh, the chicken thighs is what I use. I do not even bother anymore with lean chicken, like chicken breast. I don't bother.
Oh,
Not fatty enough, and it's like
with the skin.
Everything has to have the skin, and the fattier the better. I'm telling you, like it's so boring to me. Like chicken breast, I could probably eat about 50 chicken breasts if it had no skins. It wouldn't. It's not satiating.
It also doesn't taste
feel
like
full.
anything.
What's that?
What about
John?
Chicken breast doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah, it's. I agree. And
That's what barbecue sauce is for.
yeah, that's all sugar.
DL knows this. I've long held the belief that beef is the superior meat because all you have to do to it is cook it. Chicken, on the other hand, especially chicken breast, dude, you got to put everything on it to make it taste good.
There's nothing to it. I agree that beef is the way to go.
Is RL eating red meat yet?
Yeah, oh yeah.
No shit.
In fact, you know what he ate last night?
Wow.
A double-double.
No way.
RL's putting down double-doubles with no bread.
Oh man. He's broken the sacred covenant.
36 years.
God damn.
Yeah.
36 years as a vegetarian?
No, just as not eating red meat.
Oh.
And he's eating bacon now. Let me tell you, RL's in. He's been watching the videos. He's hooked. He knows this is the way to go. He's chosen the path.
Next thing you know, he's going to be drinking dark colored sodas.
Never.
I know that's not a thing.
Yeah.
No Coke Zeros, huh? No A&W Zeros.
He likes his Mountain Dew and his orange soda, his Diet Orange. He's been doing the Diet Orange soda with the heavy cream.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That root beer, the sugar-free root beer with heavy cream.
Of course I do.
It's incredible.
It's the best.
John, how long have you been on the meat-only diet?
I haven't been doing meat only. I've been doing basically keto. I've been eating veggies as well.
Like cheese. Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about kicking the veggies to the curb and see what happens for a month.
Dave, what's your theory on that?
Well, I don't like veggies. I feel like there's too many chemicals in them as far as like things that
what about the meat might have more chemicals from the stuff that the farmers are feeding the I'm
not worried about it. Cheech says aspartame is not good either. Yeah, I'd like to see your study on aspartame, Cheech. Let me tell you something. All you have to do is look to see whatever the government is showing studies that are bad, and then you know you can eat them fine.
Yeah,
because they're so full of shit. They just came out as the studies saying that now alcohol they think is the reason for cancer. Oh, really? Because people have been consuming alcohol at the same pace for how many years? But if you look, like I said, if you looked at seed oils and see how it's been permeating into everything we eat. I
think plastic packaging and all that stuff.
I tend to agree with Jimmy there. There's way too much of that.
I just think plastics you're not eating. These things are eating daily. Chemicals that are cleaned in hexane solvent.
Especially if it's hot.
I think it takes a
Cheech,
lot.
why would they lie about it? What would they gain? They're trying to sell sugar and corn syrup. That's the business they're in, okay? They're called commodities. Corn and sugar. So what do they have to gain? Demonize the best tasting sweetener there is, and you will sell more corn syrup and sugar. Why do you think they lie about it?
Yeah, they gain billions of dollars is what they gain. Billions.
Unbelievable.
It's like the oil industry.
Right.
Well, see, the government, when it comes to the oil industry, does it both ways. They're making more money on a barrel of oil than the actual company that's selling it. And then they demonize the oil companies saying they're nothing but money-grubbing pieces of shit.
Right.
Meanwhile, that's who the biggest money-grubbing pieces of shit are, is that John Denver-looking cunt over in Washington named Liz Warren. Wait, can I say that on the show? Oh, I did.
I think you can.
I think
I think you just did.
I think I'd read that with the tax rate of gasoline in California, that the California government actually makes more money per gallon sold than the oil companies themselves do.
Yeah, why is it more expensive here than it is in other states for gas? It's like, shouldn't it be the same in every?
That's
state?
because California has all kinds of taxes and regulations put onto that. That's why. And they're busy robbing you blind.
In the comments, folks, put down what your local gas station's charging for regular. I'm curious.
So Terry,
at about $5
cabbage I don't eat, so I can't do cabbage. And soy sauce, that's a big no-no. Soy is a no-no for me.
Oh yeah, doesn't that make you grow man boobs?
It's not very good for you. I would just pass.
Hey, Dave, can I put on the YouTube stream so I can see the chat on my phone?
You could do it on your phone. Yeah. You can go to the stream on your phone. You just what I was saying is don't go to the StreamYard on both.
Right.
But you can go to you can go to your phone, go to the channel. Okay. Also, I just want to say to Cheech about the aspartame. Like aspartame, they said like, oh, it can cause cancer or it can cause this. So all one has to do, and it doesn't take a fucking genius. And this is something that anytime anyone tells you any piece of information, it's called applying common sense. So somebody once told me that it causes brain aneurysms. This is what they were saying about aspartame, and then it causes cancer. So I said, well, show me in 1981, before it was released, what was the cancer rate? And then show me a huge increase in 82 when they released it in Diet Coke and it went into 1 billion homes. Show me from that point to now that exponential rise, and the rise is not there. So if the rise isn't there and you're saying something that has gone into 300 million homes in America on a daily basis, people are consuming ridiculous amounts, then you would see a rise.
Well, here's a direct quote from cancer.org/cancer/risk prevention, blah, blah, blah. The question in bold letters is, does aspartame cause cancer? And then the last paragraph of this rebuttal here is, the results of epidemiologic studies of possible links between aspartame and cancer have not been consistent for most cancers. Some studies have suggested a possible link, but others have not.
Right.
So,
and by the way,
the
key word, I think about sugar
there, by the way, is suggested.
Right. And possible.
Suggested a possible link, and others
right.
haven't. So it's like, that's as big of a as you can have in a study.
Yeah, no, it's all nonsense. It's all absolute horseshit. Yeah, that's why I think it's so funny, because I'll sit there and like after a meal, I'll have a half a glass of orange soda, with aspartame, with heavy cream. Meanwhile, I'm like the healthiest I've ever been. And I'll see some fat bastard say to me, that's not good for you. Oh, it isn't? But the fucking Doritos that are still on your fucking fingers and the fucking mashed potatoes and gravy you just picked up from KFC that's on your fucking car seat, that's good for you. But you're going to tell me what's bad. Right? It's like, give me a fucking break. I'm like, you have the natural reverb from 2 to 3 chins, and you're going to tell me something's not good? You're drinking every other fucking night. You're out fucking eating chicken wings and drinking fucking beer, and every time you fucking cough, it stinks like somebody shat themselves. And then you're going to say to me, hey, by the way, I really wouldn't drink aspartame. It's not good for you. Fuck off. But people do that. I'm not saying that's you, Cheech. What I'm saying is people in general will come to you and say, like, oh, isn't eating high protein hard on the kidneys? That's another one. Oh, is it really hard on the kidneys? I don't know, but isn't most kidney stones called oxalate stones? And isn't oxalates in, I don't know, spinach broccoli, almonds, all the things you want to say are healthy, and tea, a hot cup of tea, stuff you're drinking down like it's nobody's fucking business, but you're going to say, but high protein might be associated. Again, please take your 42-inch waist that way. Thank you.
My wife has a tendency to get on my case about drinking the A&W zeros. Meanwhile, she's smoking crack rocks in the corner,
Right?
popping
Exactly.
oxycodones like they're going out of style.
She's popping those like it's fucking Pez from the Simpsons. Simpsons Pez. Hugh Caldwell, that's excellent. I don't miss the sugar either. Cheech, I do not take supplements. I don't believe in them. I mean, let me be more direct. I believe they exist. I don't believe they do shit.
The men's one a day.
Oh, God. I remember once I trained this girl at Gold's Gym. Hey, Brian. And she says, I say to her, listen, I want you to start taking 4 grams of vitamin C a day. But here's one caveat. You have to get it in capsule. It has to be in capsule form because if you get it in a tablet, it's going to kill your stomach. The next week I see her, she comes to me. She's like, I couldn't take any of that stuff. My stomach was dead. I said, I told you to get the capsules. She goes, oh, I got the tablets. And folks, that was like the last time I had any interest in training somebody. I was like, that's it. I'm done. So anyways, let me show you this thing real quick. Can you see this thing? I think the color looks pretty good.
Looks like a guitar.
Nice.
Yeah, this is called a Gibbons. Oh no, a Gibson. This is the Gibbons RuPaul.
Okay.
Looks like an Epiphony.
Exactly.
That's a Gibson. It's the real
Does
deal.
the thing have a bone nut? I don't play anything unless it has a bone nut.
No, these things are always nylon. The nylon nut.
Those wear out pretty easily, don't they? Why don't they put stainless steel frets on all guitars? It's like I hate it. Like
Eric Johnson can hear the difference between stainless steel and nickel.
He can tell the difference between the microphone upgrade on my microphone.
Yeah, it's a cool looking guitar.
Is it heavy?
It's fairly light. I would probably say it's like 7.5, 8 pounds.
Is that a Cloud 9?
No, this is just a USA.
Really okay.
This is just a USA. It looks a lot like my old Cloud 9, doesn't it?
Yeah,
a little sexier.
I don't remember your Cloud 9 to be honest,
Yeah.
but that's you said it's just a standard USA?
Yeah.
Is it a standard or a traditional or?
I think it's traditional, standard, whatever that. Yeah, traditional. I forget what the names
Dave,
are. Yeah.
the studios, is that the same exact electronics that's in a Les Paul, or is it completely is it different?
Well, it's got different pickups and different. It's just got the different pickups. I think it has modern wiring. It depends on which one you get. Some have the vintage wiring, but for the most part,
yeah, it's gonna be like.
But yeah, this is
Alnico 5 humbuckers, probably good. 490.
Yeah,
498, 496
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, those are fine.
How about
I can't hear anything.
Yeah. You can't hear it?
I mean, we can hear it a little bit.
I'm playing Josie.
Oh, gotcha.
Put them. Yeah, put.
You know, when it starts off.
I heard something for a second.
Yeah, it sounds good. Boom.
We're gonna break out the hats and hooters. And Josie comes.
Damn, what do you think about this?
You got yourself a
Oh, look at that. You got one to
shredder
show.
guitar.
Let's see it.
Hey.
Hold it up.
I got some prestige.
It's a shredder, man.
Hold it up.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Hold on. Let me make it big.
Cool. When did you get that?
About a year ago.
That looks cool. That's that
Yeah.
translucent white top.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's got like a look at the top there. It looks like
I
it's
really
pink.
like the way it's. I like the way the back is. I took the back off, but I like the way the back of the neck is there.
Wait, why do you have the
But,
electronics plate open? What are you doing back there?
Having some wiring problems here.
Hmm.
Nothing that Bingham couldn't fix. With a
Hint,
screwdriver tapping it.
Tap tap.
Let's see the bed. Let me see that guitar. Hold it up again. I missed it.
It's got a really beautiful finish.
Okay,
The
24
translucent-
frets.
24
Pickups
frets.
into the body. Fake Floyd
Floyd.
Rose. I mean, it's the Ibanez Edge, isn't it? Is that what that is? The Edge
It's-
tremolo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And a metal nut. No bones.
No.
Well, yeah, you got the. It's got the locking nut.
It's got the lockdown.
What are you plugging
I
that
wanna get a
thing
lock
into?
for- I have a Marshall right now that's being repaired. Marshall JCM 800. This guy who works for Marshall Electronics, the microphone company. He's been working on it, getting it ready.
Ooh, what 800
Uh,
is it?
JCM 800.
Is it the combo or a head or 50 watts, 100 watts?
It's just a head. It's a 50 watt.
2204 probably. Cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome,
It
Hugh.
sounds
Yeah,
sounds
fuck
awesome.
them with statins.
He's
It's
gonna-
so
he's gonna,
ridiculous. Good for
He's
you,
gonna
Hugh.
modify it and everything. Give it that
You've
Van
learned
Halen
well,
one.
my Jedi. Yeah, I mean, these
Use the
doctors,
Schwartz.
Hugh, all they know what to do is to prescribe shit that it's like, who knows? Maybe every 10 people they prescribe a statin, they get a free trip to Hawaii. But I think something on that level is probably going on because all they want to do is put you on a statin. And for what? 200 cholesterol? They're so stupid. It's really angering me. The more I think about it, I want to fly out to Scotland and kill that guy.
It's angering me.
Have you guys heard the new Rolling
in the lock.
Stones cut called Anger? They put out a new song today.
No.
Is it good?
I'll say this. It's not great. But let me say this. It's a band that basically put out an album 59 years after their first album.
Yeah.
Holy
And
shit.
it's still pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's crazy.
It's still
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, who would have ever guessed when they were rivals with the Beatles that they
Right.
would still be chewing along in 2023?
I mean, let me just say this. Lennon had a pretty good career solo. I would say his career was a B+ in the 70s. Like from the Plastic Ono album all the way up to Double Fantasy was good. Not great, not fantastic,
Well,
but
he had 5
very
years
good.
of dead time though, too.
Very good. McCartney in that era was on fire. He was great. Harrison was good in the beginning, but when he did what's that song, Cracker Jack Palace? What the fuck? That was, I got my mind set on you.
I
Somebody asked me
all
today,
those
how
years
does-
ago. I like all those years ago. That's cool.
Yeah, somebody asked me the other day. Today, no, someone said to me today, "It's how's the Stones? How's the new song?" I said, "Well, it's better than I got my mind set on you." That hunk of dung.
I listened to a Van
I like
Halen
George
song I haven't
Harrison.
heard in about 25 years today.
Which one?
Which
Do you
one?
guys remember when they released the greatest hits record in the mid 90s? They included 2 songs with DLR that
David?
they hadn't done.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I remember that.
Me Wise Magic.
Me Wise Magic and Can't Get This Stuff No More. I just heard Can't Get This Stuff No More today for the first time in forever. It's a great song.
That's right, Hugh. It is.
Yeah.
It's so funny to hear it and be like, nobody knows this song. It was killer. I'm sitting there
I
listening
remember
to
they
it.
played it on the radio
Guitar tone was
once,
great.
and then I
Dave's
never heard it
voice was
again.
great. Yeah. Yeah, you never hear it now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening, Van Halen, because I was watching a few live things that show up in my feed. I always say Women and Children First is the best album. But what do you think the best album side from the David Lee Roth era is?
I have no idea.
I think it's the side one of Fair Warning.
I don't break it down by album
Fair
size.
Warning.
Mean
Mean Streets.
Well, you got Mean Streets, Dirty Movies, Sinner Swing, and Hear About It Later. It's fucking great.
Sinner Swing. What's the one? It does like a solo. It has like contrary motion at the end. It sounds like a delay or something. It's like it's like going up and down.
Sinner Swing goes.
Oh no, it's not Sinner Swing. It's wait, hold on. I'll tell you.
Mean Streets, right?
No, it's like one of the last cuts.
1 Foot Out the Door. So this is love.
It's 1 foot out. 1 foot out the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does this.
Who would I say is the greatest songwriter? Yeah, that's a tough thing. It depends on my mood. I mean, there's a lot of great songwriters. I could tell you who's underrated. I think like guys like Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff as songwriters are unbelievable. I think Paul Simon was a great songwriter. I think Paul McCartney was a great songwriter.
Did he write Bridge Over Troubled Water?
Simon did, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
He wrote a lot of great songs. I mean, his whole solo career, still crazy
like
after all these years.
I like the earlier stuff, but I didn't like the one "Call Me Al" and all that stuff. I wasn't.
Well, that album had "Diamonds on the Soles of Her Shoes" was a great song. "I'm Going to Graceland" was a great song.
Yeah, I actually. Saw
I'm a big Tom Waits fan. I like Tom Waits.
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool.
But I don't know about calling him the greatest songwriter. I mean, I love his songs, but I don't know if they translate. I mean, there's so many different records. I know a lot of people covered it. I'm a huge Paul Buchanan fan. The singer songwriter from the Blue Nile. I'm also a huge David Sylvian fan from the band Japan and Rain Tree Crow. And then there's some American songwriters. I think Tom Petty was a great writer. I think the guys in the Eagles were all great writers. I mean, you look at the first few Eagles records. Who do you think had the best
solo career from the Eagles?
Oh, Henley.
Definitely wasn't Glenn Frey.
Yes, Hugh. I love it.
Yeah, Don Henley had a better solo career. But
a buddy of mine the other day messaged me at like 1 a.m. He's like, dude, I'm driving. I got an hour drive. I'm not going to be home till like 2:30. Tell me a record to listen to on Spotify for the drive. I said, well, go listen to my favorite album of all time, the Blue Nile Hats. After Over the Hillside plays, he goes, this is like dreamy music. I'm going to crash into a tree. I'm like, what better music to play to while you're dying into a tree?
Music to die to.
No, I don't think Dirty Movies is great, Terry. I don't think Hetfield's a great writer because I really don't care for Metallica's songs. I think Megadeth.
What about Kirk Hammett's?
If you say to me, is Hetfield a great writer? I wouldn't put him above Mustaine. And I'm not putting Mustaine anywhere. But I mean, Mustaine, I think, is a good writer. I don't really care for Metallica songs. I always find like it's... have you guys tried the Blackened cigar, which is Drew Estates and James Hetfield got together and they made this cigar? And it was supposed to be it's called the Blackened, and everyone's like, oh, it's...
Oh, like the Black Record or something?
We go Blackened, and it's supposed to be like a really dark cigar. It has zero flavor. It tastes like a burnt... It's terrible. And it reminds me, this is what Metallica is to me. Like, it sounds good on
Kirk
paper.
Hammett's Bingham's favorite guitar player, though.
It sounds good on paper until you light it up.
Metallica?
Yeah.
Yeah, they stink.
Yeah.
I think I liked them a lot more when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah, exactly, Carl. Not the Blackened. It's terrible. Yeah, they made whiskey too. I haven't tried it, but I got to tell you, I'm not interested. Yeah, whiskey's not my thing anyway.
Whiskey in the Jarro.
Ooh.
But like I say, like I'm not a big fan of Metallica, so it's not like... But I tried the Blackened hoping it was going to be good. And I like what they stood for. I can't stand...
Capitalism.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But, Lars, I can't stand them. But yeah, we wanted to do... Yeah, it's like, shut the Christ up. I could see that we were a jerk to Jason Newsted now. now that I pulled my
Yeah,
head
the
out of my
hazing
ass for a
process
minute.
the whole time he was in the band.
Right, the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, James Taylor's a good writer. I mean, like, James Taylor's like a good writer for James Taylor. I don't know if I want to hear somebody else do Fire and Rain. But when I think of like American songbook stuff, I mean, I'm also a big fan of like Sammy Cahn and Julie Stein, the guys that wrote, Just in Time, all of it, like the Sinatra songbook and
Broadway
stuff like
stuff.
that.
Didn't the piano player for Sinatra, he wrote New York, New York and My Way and stuff like that?
No, My Way was written by Paul Anka, and it was
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I hate those 60s Sinatra stuff. To me are terrible. When Sinatra was winning Grammys, beating out the Beatles, he completely sucked. Because the last good Sinatra album is probably from 1960 or 61. I could be wrong on the year. But I think it was 1960, and the album is called Nice and Easy. That might be the last decent album by Sinatra.
What about his live stuff?
Yeah, I don't care. No, like when he was young, he had a great voice. After 1960, like even Nice and Easy, when he's like, let's take it nice and easy, he was becoming an old man. And I don't dig it. But when he's saying like love and marriage, his voice is beautiful. It's great.
Goes together like a horse and carriage. This
exactly
forever associated, married with children.
Oh, 100%. It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Exactly. But it's a great song. And all those songs, you see a pair of laughing eyes, and suddenly you're sighing sighs. You're thinking nothing's wrong. You move along, boy, then snap.
Have you seen Mark Tremonti doing
that's terrible stuff.
Have you seen Mark Tremonti doing the Sinatra thing?
No.
Are you familiar with this? Mark Tremonti.
You know who Mark Tremonti is? He would never come up in my feed.
No. Well, I mean, he's the guitar player from Creed, which is probably the band that I like least of every rock band ever put together. I just can't.
I'm somewhere near there.
Someone
said have David Allan Coe. I'm not a huge fan.
Horrible.
Anyway,
he does this. His side thing that he does is he sings Sinatra. And I wish it was his main thing, because he does it in spades. It's fantastic.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's
like I thought Harry Connick. When Harry Connick came out, he sounded like a young Sinatra. I thought he was great.
Yeah, Tremonti.
Hugh Caldwell's asking about early 80s electronica. I want to say 80s electronica was more underground. Some people were into it. It was here, but it was definitely more the MTV scene that it snuck in, like Ultravox. I think that's what you're thinking of, like Ultravox, Reap the Wild Wind, and Here in My Car, Gary Newman.
It's in my front seat.
Yeah.
Early 80s electronica. Yeah, I don't know any of it. I know some.
What about Kraftwerk? Is that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was like a lot of stuff going on. Like, I mean, Depeche Mode was around, like, I think, 81?
Yeah, OMD.
If you leave. Oh, God.
What about Orgy? That was Doug Fresh's roommate was Jay from Orgy. The giant, he's like 6'8".
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Dave?
No, but I know Dougie Fresh.
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about Doug Rowland. Yeah.
Yeah, he was living in the Valley with Jay from the band Orgy.
Oh, okay.
And he had like a nice studio there. Then they got into a fist fight and it was all over.
Doug was how I started the Big Angry.
Oh, yeah?
Doug put the whole thing together, basically, and then came back to me and goes, I can't do it. And I'm like, we're doing it without you. Because he had that.
Whatever happened to him? Did you ever?
Why? We used to do shows with him all the time. I'm still. You remember he was good friends with Jimmy Tarosky?
Your singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of
so I
course.
talk to Jimmy still. I haven't. I'm sure he still talks to Doug. They grew up together.
Yeah, from Pennsylvania, right? Or
No, no,
Jersey?
no, no. They're Long Island guys.
Okay. Well, I knew it
They're
was
from
somewhere around
Massapequa.
the tri-state. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're Massapequa kids.
Nice. Near
Yeah.
Oyster Bay.
Yeah.
What is it? Kid Detroit out of Cleveland.
Oh,
Isn't that you?
another girl.
Aren't
That's
you
a
Kid
girl.
Detroit?
What's
I
that?
seen him fight once as
Bingham,
the
aren't you Kid Detroit?
Yeah.
right. The bit he goes, Kid Detroit. I've seen him fight under the name, and every time it's a different name.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking great. That's Naked Gun, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
I
our
love those
Jersey
movies.
Mike's doesn't use
I love
oil.
Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Except,
Ted
I saw him in a serious
Colorado. That's
movie.
it. I knew RL knew that joke because he sent it to me not too long ago. The Arizona assassin.
That's right. Ted Colorado, the Arizona assassin. It's such a funny joke.
Ah, those guys are unfucking believable. It's unbelievable. I'll tell you right now, what was those guys? Tex Colorado. That's it, Tex Colorado. The Arizona assassin. He was a Cleveland kid.
He changed his name every fight.
Oh, it was unbelievable. That's a great bit. I love Frank Drebin.
Yeah, he's the best.
It really
Who's
is.
your favorite
Kennedy
comedian?
is amazing, though. You can't.
Who? George Kennedy?
Yeah, you can't discount his contributions.
I
What
like
about
Alan
Jamie
North
Kennedy?
from the show.
What's
Alan
that?
North was. I like Alan North on the show. He was the George Kennedy character on the
gotcha.
show.
Which show?
The Police
Squad.
Squad.
Oh,
Police Squad. Sally Decker. When he's like, I love when he's got the cloth over the phone and it completely changes his voice. And then Alan North comes up to goes, "What's up with the phony phone call?" Rel got the ball without
you
bread.
can't do
Excellent.
phony phone calls anymore. Everybody has
What's-
caller ID.
What
We used
is
to
it?
do phony phone calls when we were kids. We used to like.
Oh yeah, no,
record
the bit is ridiculous though. It's just like because he puts it's Frank and he's talking like this. Listen, Sally. He's got the cloth in front of him, but on the other end, it's a completely different guy's voice.
Oh, that's
It's the
funny.
actual guy's voice who he's imitating. Oh, it's fucking cold. It's absolutely hysterical. Have you been? Is anyone here in the chat or either you two into sneaker culture?
No, I
sneaker
wear shoes.
culture. No.
These idiots are walking around like they go to these sneaker conventions and they're spending like tens of thousands of dollars buying Nikes.
Yeah.
And like one guy's got like a pair of Nikes that look pretty good. And someone's like, "Oh, those are fakes." If he paid $30 for them, he's
Knockoffs.
making you look like the idiot. They're fucking shoes.
They're made in a sweatshop.
They're made in the same sweatshop. Are you kidding me? It's like, remember when the Chibsons came out and they all had Epiphone pots? You knew Epiphone was sliding them out the back doors and changing the headstock name. Please. I had a buddy of mine had one. I did a review of it. I took the thing apart. Everything on it was Epiphone. Everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just comes out of the Epiphone factory. They're like, we'll make 10 for Epiphone, 1 for me. 10 for Epiphone. Some guy's making them there in the shop.
Right.
It plays just like an Epiphone too, which is pretty good. Which sometimes they play great, sometimes they're not. But yeah. So these sneaker guys, they're paying ridiculous money for them. But I just get a kick out of like when they're like, "Oh, those are like." It started because I started watching this guy Rami the Icon, and he works at Cool Kicks in L.A. And he's got a cool shop, and it's a cool show. I mean, it's interesting. But then I started, all of a sudden, now my Instagram feed, instead of girls with giant jugs, thanks to RL, now it's all sneaker fucking sales, like people talking sneakers. And I'm like, what am I looking at here? And some kid's like, I would never wear these shoes. These are fakes. I'm like, give them to me, you shithead. The fuck? Regular Nikes suck anyway. Oh, these are Jordan 4s. These are the best sneakers. Get a fucking $30 shoe on your feet and get a job. What are you doing?
I would never wear
Not like
these
they
shoes.
last long.
I want to hear you say that. I would never wear these shoes line as Walter Matthau.
I would never wear these shoes.
I don't know why that's
pretty
so
good, Dave.
funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be caught dead in
God.
these shoes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. But it is funny, this whole sneaker culture of people. And then they have like, this one guy, he's got a channel called Not Trippin'. And he just rips on these people. And he's not wrong. And he's not really mean. But like they go to convention and they got some kid and they're like, what do you have on your feet? And he's like, oh, I'm wearing, it's like, and they're all about the shoes. And meanwhile, the rest of his wardrobe looked like he shopped at like the fucking
The Gap.
No, the thrift shop at the Special Olympics. It's like, who put this together? Oh, Jesse's the best. I'm in the Baja. Have you been into that at all, John?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
The Jesse?
What's that?
Jesse
Ventura.
Go to
I love
YouTube.
Jesse Ventura.
Go to YouTube and look up Will Sasso doing 15
I've seen him.
minutes.
I've seen him do it. Oh my god.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I'm
He's
in the
better than Jesse
Baja.
Ventura. You can't
He's
even tell the difference.
unbelievable.
He's
That's
hilarious,
really,
Will
that's
Sasso.
really funny.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
excellent.
do you agree that Mad TV was 1,000 times funnier than Saturday Night Live?
Well, I never watched it, I will be honest. And SNL, I don't know when Mad TV was on, but I think when it was on, SNL was still pretty good. I don't know that it was great, but I mean, the Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, that's a hard SNL to beat.
Yeah, that was good.
Mike
And
Myers,
the early
Dana
one with,
Carvey, Phil
Belushi.
Hartman. That's a hard one to read. Hard one to beat.
But they had a lot of good. They had Key and Peele and Bobby Lee.
Let me
Michael
tell you, Ed
McDonald.
Dana, I got to tell you about Bob Dylan being a great writer. There was an interview with John Lennon, and they were asking him about the song I Am the Walrus. And he's like, I figured I would just write some stupid lyrics that made no sense because everyone sits there and thinks Bob Dylan's good. He does. I couldn't believe, because I know he's friends with him, but he was just ripping on Dylan. Goes, yeah, they make him out to be a god because he says something stupid. He's like, so I started writing stuff that didn't make sense. And he's like, yellow matter custard dripping from a dead dog's eyes from a fucking old
I am
nursery
me
rhyme.
and you are.
Yeah, but it's funny. There's nothing better than listen to Lennon rip on either himself or other. He always calls the songs by one-word titles. I never cared for Pepper. I didn't like Pepper. That was John's. That was Paul's. I never liked Pepper. The Electric Light Orchestra's doing what we did right around the time of Walrus. So everything's just one word. Hey,
It's
Rich.
too much work to say all of it.
That's what I said. I thought SNL was pretty strong when Mad, but I think they were funny on Mad TV. I think Sasso was funny.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
His best character.
I love.
is
You
Chet
ever seen him
Walters.
do
Chet Walters
Kenny
is
Rogers?
amazing.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, but
I
his
have
Chet
not seen
Walters. His Chet
Beverly
Walters
Hills
in
Ninja.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
It's the best.
Oh,
By the way, I noticed the
only
jukebox has got a photo of Jeff Beck behind him.
yes, he does.
And,
it looks like from the.
So there's a lot of guitar players out there where I hear it and I go, I get it, I respect it, I understand why people talk about this guy, and then I never listen to it again.
Yeah,
I listened to Jeff Beck for the first time in about 30 years yesterday on my way down to Orange County when I was going into the office. I never listened to that stuff. I listened to the Wired record, and I thoroughly get why people say Jeff Beck is a god or whatever. He's incredible.
He has great tone. It's tone and just
Fucking
his
incredible.
notes. Just
The thing that threw me that I wasn't expecting is that like every note he hit, he approached differently. I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, God damn, really? Like I don't know Jeff Beck well enough to be like, oh yeah, I like this song or that song. I just know after yesterday, I'm gonna spend some time with this.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff's amazing. You know what was amazing? I don't know if you guys ever heard of this guy. He had a band called Toto, and his name is Steve Lukather. But honestly, I'm watching him play Rosanna just a couple of years ago with like it was a live. And the ripping shit he's doing at the end, I'm like, this guy got better over the years. He's one guy that improved and is a monster, just a monster player. And I was thinking about this. On the show, I'm very hard on guitar players. We do the lists and we sit there and we say, okay, this guy sucks, this. And it's not necessarily fair, and I wanted to explain it. If you guys have to think of, now let's just pull out some of the most important guitar players to the history of rock music. If we look at this list of the most important players in the history of rock music, in no way by mentioning them do I relate that any one of them is considered a great player. You don't have to be great to be important. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think Pete Townshend, and I have nothing great to say about Pete Townshend. I don't really love The Who. But Pete Townshend to me is a really important character for punk music and for the whole mod scene. And I think he is very inspirational and really a big part of music. And you can go listen to The Who live at Leeds, and I think he's important. He'll never be in my top 100 guitar player lists. But he's definitely in my top.
What about his keyboard programming? I mean, he was doing that shit
when
it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just him, but I'm just saying what he did for guitar. Chuck Berry. I don't think Chuck Berry's a great player, but he did the duck walk, and maybe without him, we don't have Angus Young doing his antics. Yes, was he original? No, he's using a lot. He's ripping a lot of shit off from the 40s. But he's still an important guitar player, maybe not as much as Buddy Holly, but in a different way.
Well, Buddy Holly was a better songwriter, I think.
Completely. But I think Hendrix is an important guitar player. He doesn't make my top 10. But he's an important guitar player that makes my top 10 of importance. So what I'm saying is these lists, we never know what the fucking criteria is, but it seems like they seem to throw in, because of this person's an important character in the history of guitar, therefore they have to be seen as the greatest guitar player. And I don't see that as being the case. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I think
Hendrix was like the guy. I mean, he was before, almost everybody. He's doing feedback and doing all the cool sound effects. And
John Lennon would have something to say to you about that. He said we were doing it all on Revolver, which came out in 1966.
Vladimir.
Well, Hendrix came out in 1966 too, I think.
1967. 1967, IU Experience. But that's not the point. The point is I believe Hendrix is an important character in the history of guitar. I don't believe he should be on a great guitar player list anywhere near Jimmy Page or Eddie Van Halen. And I'll say this about Eddie. Eddie is an important player, but he also happens to be a great player. Oh, Dean Parks is awesome. Awesome. I got a Dean Parks story. Do you remember Scott Berg?
Sure. Yeah.
Scott Berg, he was a customer of ours and later became a student of mine. He says to me one time, hey, you want to come go to a buddy of mine's playing a country gig. Do you want to go? And I did. So I'm standing there with him and I'm like, is that Dean Parks on pedal steel? He's like, yes. I'm like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable. But I like Randy Rhoads a lot. I don't think he's as important as he is great. Like he's when someone says that's their favorite player or he's one of the important players in metal, yes. Important in the whole scheme of neoclassical, no, Yngwie was that. The problem was he was like the classical guy that came out. I'm talking about Randy Rhoads. Randy Rhoads comes out. He's the classical music student guy that comes out. And then fucking Yngwie comes out and they were like, nah, this guy does it. We like the way this guy does it.
That's funny.
It's true though.
Yeah. I remember when I first heard Yngwie, it was my first semester at Berkeley. And I heard Jet to Jet, the solo from Jet. This guy's like, you got to hear this.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, just the whole thing. And his tone was clean with no effects, no delay, no wah-wah pedal, and just is picking every note and just doing like fast little sweeps. It was incredible.
That Alcatraz record, he's still never put out anything quite as good as that.
His playing was it was so clean on that, you know. It's like it almost sounded sloppier by the time he came out with it was like a little bit sloppier, you know.
So I don't think Randy Rhoads would have been a big deal if it wasn't for Ozzy. I mean, clearly the Quiet Riot stuff is poop, you know. What about
that's putting it nicely? But I do think there was some type of
made it.
What about Carlos Cavazo?
Would that solo career of his been reignited like it was if Randy wasn't involved? I get the feeling it still would have been.
I don't think so. And I'll say this, maybe, but I think it's not just Randy. It's Randy and it's the bass player there. What's his name?
Bob Daisley.
Didn't he write those songs?
Yeah, with Randy. But it's the synergy of those guys and Lee Kerr's like playing in a room.
Player? What about the guy who did the
Don Airey wasn't part of the main writing. But I'm saying those guys got together in a room with jamming and coming out with crazy good material. A lot better than Slick Black Cadillac. That song sucks. Hey, Lenny. Yeah, I mean, Quiet Riot, I don't care who's playing guitar in the band. The band sucks.
My point about the Ozzy thing is that, I mean, Daisley was writing all of these songs, and he wrote good songs with Jake. He wrote good songs with Randy.
He wrote Flying High Again, didn't he?
I don't know exactly what track.
Yeah, he wrote all the songs with Randy. And he wrote the ones with Jake.
By a bass player, the way it's like, boom, boom.
Hold on a second. Yeah, no, I mean, he wrote some great songs. What did you just say, Jukebox, before that?
Did Bob Daisley write Flying High Again?
Yeah, no, he did. He wrote those songs. But I know what John's saying. I just don't think that Bark at the Moon.
To me.
And also, Bark at the Moon was still playing off the heels of Diary of a Madman.
Yeah.
So in my feed comes a video about Vito Bratta. And I guess, I didn't watch it, so I have no idea what the fuck the thing is. But it does say something to the effect like he says, Eddie wasn't that big of an influence on him. It was so-and-so. And I don't know who the person was.
Oh, I remember.
He's like more like,
I remember
he does little compositions, like little melodic compositions and using taps. He's not like, you know, Eddie was different. Eddie was much more off the cuff, you know. Vito Bratta was like really like little composition within the song, you know.
I'll say this. Eddie can write a song. And who gives a fuck about Vito Bratta? I mean, Vito Bratta, that's the whole point of my thing. Vito Bratta's making this video talking about who his influences are. I'm like, who gives two fucks? Who cares who I like? What the hell are we doing here? Why do I care that, you're not an Eddie Van Halen clone? I'm sorry, I could have sworn I saw you tapping and everyone compares you to Eddie. But who cares? Because fucking White Lions sucked.
Yeah, they were pretty pathetic.
Right?
Wait.
I hated them. Did they do When the Children Cry or whatever, something like that?
Yes.
Oh, they were fucking rotten.
Yeah.
Get them out of
His
here.
influence was Satan. Yeah.
I'm trying to find
like the church lady.
Somebody else.
Satan? What'd you say, John?
SRV, I like Stevie Ray Vaughan. But, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan used to talk about, you know, this is when I want to sound like Freddie King. This is when I want to sound like Albert King. Listen, nobody gives a fuck about those guys. They're asking you for a ride home. Don't worry about it. Like, who, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who cares? Can you imagine if Chuck Berry came out saying, I stole this riff from Blind Lemon Shithead, and then this one came from Blind Lemon Shitbag?
What about the guys that said
Which line,
that Zeppelin ripped them off, and it doesn't even sound remotely anything like the song? I mean, it's like the words were the same, but the chords and the melody were completely unique and different and better.
What song is this?
Zeppelin, the first Zeppelin record, when all the blue.
Oh, well, yeah, no, well, they stole the guy's song who wrote.
They just used the words, but like the music was totally.
No, it's the same.
Is it?
Dazed and Confused was, yeah, the only song that really.
Those guys. No.
The thing was, the guy Jake, whatever his name was, used to open for the Yardbirds, and then the Yardbirds used to cover it, and then Zeppelin changed the lyrics and took credit for it.
Yeah, well, Zeppelin, weren't they, when they first came out, they were going to be billed as the new Yardbirds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was going to.
Bingham, let me see your Carpe Diem tattoo, Bingham.
Nah. Actually, I gotta get moving.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
I got a meeting in a few minutes.
Was it something I said?
It's something that you look like. No, nope, all good.
Is it the Jeff Beck picture? I'll take it down.
Plenty of tattoos. No, I was trying to find that Vito Bratta thing. I can't find it. I can't remember who he quoted. He said,
take the A at the end of his name. It's Vito Bratt.
Somebody else.
I just don't understand the appeal of discussing White Lion when nobody cares.
It's just easier than straightforward coming out.
Right.
It's one of your favorite.
See, here it is. Oh, here it is. I found it. It was KK Downing.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's right. It was
KK Downing.
Less about Eddie and more about KK. Oof.
Yeah.
That's what Vito Bratta said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your White Lion sounds just like fucking Stained Glass. You fucking idiot. I'm more influenced by KK. Which one's KK? He's the guy who barely solos in Judas Priest because fucking Tipton is shredding his balls off on every song.
Wasn't KK they had to replace him because he was like he couldn't play Painkillers.
Who?
KK Downing.
He retired.
Yeah, no.
And then Tipton retired because he had Parkinson's.
Oh, Parkinson's.
Yeah. Parkinson's.
I heard that KK tried to get back in the band after that, by the way.
He has a band called KK's Priest or something.
Right.
Well, you know what?
Because they didn't let him back in.
They didn't let him back in. They said, we got Vito Bratta coming. We got
when the
Vito
children cry.
He's so influenced by you. People won't be able to tell you the difference. And KK's like, that fucking Van Halen clone shitbag? No, look, he just did a video on YouTube. No, he's KK.
He said that recently?
He's not influenced by Eddie. The guy taps every other second. Every solo he plays sounds like fucking two versions of Beat It going backwards and forwards. Yeah, no, he's into KK.
It's like a meticulously worked out solos. I mean, there's no noodling. I mean, he's just like, I don't know.
He says he was more influenced by Breaking the Law than he was by Jump.
I wonder what classical musician he also would have referenced as his third choice. Eddie Van Halen, KK Downing, and
Paco Bell.
Right.
Paco Bell.
I've always enjoyed Cannon and D. Fucking shitbags. Honestly,
I was less influenced by Paco Bell and more by Taco Bell.
Exactly. But seriously,
right?
No, but they ask these people like, "What are your influence?" Like, you know what I mean? Can you imagine Hey, John and Paul, this 1965. You just put out 3 or 4 of the biggest fucking selling albums in America. Who are your influences? Oh, we like we sure like we like Zimmerman. You guys call him Bob Dylan, and we like Buddy Holly. What is it different? Who cares who you fucking like? They're the fucking stars. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's the same thing when Stevie Ray Vaughan comes out and he's like, well, I listen to a lot of Freddie King and Albert King. As far as I'm concerned, they're all blind lemon shitbags. Nobody cares about them. You're the ones selling records and making songs. Oh, I want to tell you about all the influences I have. I'm really into KK Downing. Oh, really? All that tapping? A hair metal band. A hair metal band that fucking looks like Van Halen. If you were driving down a dark street and they were hitchhiking, you'd be like, oh, Van Halen's hitchhiking. Sorry, it's White Lion. We're out of here.
Right? Yeah, the singer was like a pretty boy David Lee Roth looking.
Mike Tramp, the singer.
Every one of those bands wanted to be
on you
Van
for
Halen.
Knowing his name.
I was more
also
into
know that
KK.
he's Danish.
He's Danish?
Yeah, and there's no way that his real name is Mike Tramp.
Right.
Mike Supertramp.
If he's Danish, he's gonna have some crazy last name.
The guy screaming down the street at me, pick us up. I'm more into KK Downing. Boy, you're still trying to be relevant? What the fuck? Instead of telling me who your influences are, put out a fucking record. Make a song.
All these music news outlets kill me. Every single time I like go through a social media feed, I see some new quote that, Ultimate Guitar or somebody has put out from David Ellefson shitting on Dave Mustaine. Like, every time. And
really?
Apparently still Vito brought out. Like, why? Why? They weren't that big of a band when they were out, and
they were terrible.
They haven't been out in nearly 40 years.
Those are the only 2 songs I can think is When the Children Cry and
something came up in my feed the other day. You remember Bobby Rock that was
sure.
He worked out at Gold's. He was the drummer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about isn't he a producer?
No, not the producer. That's Bob Rock. This is Bobby Rock.
Bobby Rock was also a drummer.
I don't know if I know Bobby Rock. I probably do.
He used to work out at Gold's, but Bobby Rock talks about working with Vinnie Vincent Invasion. And I'm listening to this interview saying, what fucking what level of hell am I in right now?
Right.
That this is a conversation I'm listening to.
Didn't he speed up the tapes or something?
They're talking about Vinnie Vincent like this is music.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't figure out. And it was like unbelievable. I don't know
what
how
you need for the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. You need the ortho guy.
Could you imagine like any other industry behaving the way that this stupid ass music industry behaves? You'd be there at NASA, and they'd be interviewing a scientist that worked on some component of the shuttle in 1974. And like, who are your influences before this? And like, well, I assume it was Einstein,
right?
And, right. I mean, like,
it's like talking to an actor. Who do you try to? What? I'm working here as a craft. I'm trying to do something as like, yeah, certain people got me involved, and I like listening to certain people. But it's so funny that people feel they have to go and attribute like, oh well, I don't want people to think I'm a Van Halen fan. Well, why would we think that? I'm more into KK Downing. I want it on the record. Get me on.
Anybody can hear that.
You call somebody who's got a YouTube channel to make sure they interview me, and I can say that. I want to be on record. I was more of a Pete Townsend fan.
That's like that shitty Greta Van Fleet band that came out, and they were like, well, I don't even know if we heard that much Led Zeppelin growing up. We were more into Black Sabbath. Uh-huh.
Right, and they said to the guy from Autograph who did that 8-finger tapping, he's like, I never even heard of Eddie Van Halen. I saw Led Zeppelin live once, and I saw him do a hammer-on, and I said, I could do that with all appendages.
Right.
And that's what
There's a
Eddie
guitar
said.
player
He
out
said
there
he
doing
found
this.
it.
And he's like,
Yeah, that's more of a-
You know,
I was more of a Brad Gillis guy. And you're like, what?
yeah, 8
That's
fingers
Jeff
long
Watson,
approach.
right? Oh yeah. Seriously, it's
Elementary,
like
Watson.
it's like going to Prince and having him sit there and say, "Well, I wasn't really into like Parliament Funkadelic. I was a Carpenters
Brown.
fan.
Exactly.
I was into
She's
the
a good drummer.
Carpenters."
Have you ever heard her play drums?
Who?
Karen Carpenter.
Yeah,
She can play drums.
Meaning like
she's
when you're
all
listening to
right.
the Carpenters?
I mean,
She was the drummer for the Carpenters. She sang and played drums. She
she
only
did a drum
played on
solo
the
on the
first.
Johnny Carson show.
Yeah,
So why are
right.
you asking?
She
I'm
only
trying to
played
figure out
on
why
one
Jimmy's
record.
asking
And,
if we've heard Karen Carpenter play drums. It's like,
well,
you
on the records, all the hit records that they had was all Hal
you
Blaine.
saying- Oh, it was a studio guy. That makes sense why you're asking that question, though.
Right. But people love to say that. When they ask Hal Blaine, he's like, well, she's a great drummer. Everyone's like, of course, you're not going to insult the band you're going to work for. Oh, she's a great drummer, but they want, it to go by fast and, people to like do things like play in time and not sound like you're kicking a drum set down the Santa Monica stairs. Oh, that's okay.
As long as it lands on the downbeat.
You going to eat that sandwich? That's what Hannah Baum was. Yeah. But actually, that joke's funny. Unfortunately, Mama Cass died of a heart attack,
She died of a drug overdose because I know somebody that went to school.
Where did she die?
What?
Where?
Oh, I think New York, maybe.
No, she died in a London flat. Somebody else,
right.
Harry Nilsson's place.
Yeah, it was supposedly on a ham sandwich, right? But
she died of a heart. And who else died there?
Jimi Hendrix? I don't know.
No, Keith Moon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. The plot thickens.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that's another thing. So, like, if you ever met John Bonham, if he didn't die, we met him. All right, later, man. Would we sit there and say, hey, we should find out who your influences are? What did you listen to? Be like, what the fuck are we talking? Like, instead of, I don't know. To me, I think it's a crazy conversation. It's like, because when you talk about music, like, I like everything. And what's it going to tell you? I listen to everything.
Yeah, I mean,
I like everything and I hate everything.
Up some influence on, I mean, subconsciously even, But I mean, John Bonham took everything, whatever he was influenced by, he just forged his own style, just like that, slightly behind the beat.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well,
I haven't
my
heard
point is with Eddie Van Halen.
Like
if you talk Eddie Van Halen, Eddie will say he was a big Clapton was his guy. I say bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. He doesn't play anything like Clapton. He didn't even. And the guy who wrote his book
can mimic him, but I mean, so can anybody.
You want to hear? Let me just tell you something. Go listen to "Beer Drinkers and Hellraisers" by ZZ Top.
Sure.
You're going to hear Van Halen. All you got to do is just imagine the Reverend on Blow during that song, and then it would sound like every Van Halen song. But I mean, who can, like I don't have to have him tell me that. I can just hear it.
Right.
That's like Vito Bratta telling me that he's not. He's more inspired by KK Downing.
That's stupid. I thought he put his own little spin on it because he was doing like a little melodic, like he wasn't really doing any shredding or anything. He was just doing like little Van Halen.
I couldn't even like honestly. I don't know that I've ever heard him play a thing. I remember hearing those songs on the radio. I couldn't tell you.
Just wait.
No, I know the song because I've heard it on the radio. But if it ever came on after, like, I'm talking, what year is that? 87? I mean, I never listened to it. I've never listened to his guitar playing. I didn't care
only heard it on the
because
radio.
Those songs are fucking rotten. I hated hair bands, so I would never listen to it, and I don't care who they are.
Yeah, I wasn't into the spandex ballet.
But everyone, I remember as a kid when he came out, and everyone's saying, "Man, he's just like Van Halen." So I think it's laughable that he comes out and says, "I wasn't inspired by Van Halen. I'm inspired by
the guy
KK
from
Downing."
Autograph said that too.
Yeah,
the guy from
Autograph. No, I made that up. That was the Autograph one I was making up. But you remember when Bingham and I worked at West LA, we made a joke about all the guitar magazine guys and everyone that talks about naming your influences. They always name a shredder, a classic rock guitar player, and a classical composer. So they'd always be like, oh, I'm really big into Yngwie. I really like Jeff Beck, and I'm big into Brahms.
And Paganini.
Brahms. Give me a fucking break. Oh, Paganini. Oh, you've heard the Fifth Caprice because you've seen the movie fucking Crossroads, and all of a sudden you're a huge fucking Paganini fan. All of a sudden, you hear a guy running up and down as fast as he can over the A harmonic minor scale, and all of a sudden you're the fucking classical fucking enthusiast. Give me a break. Ridiculous. You know what's ridiculous about it?
Everything.
If you listen to like Bach's piano stuff or Mozart's symphonies, the 40th, I mean, it's ridiculous. Some of that music is so complex and gorgeous. And then people are like, incredible. Oh, but Paganini was just fucking playing little etudes.
Violin
shredding. It's not even music. And it's like, yes, they're exercises and fun, but
that's what the inventions were, but they were musical. Like the invention number 4 is incredible. Like, and
I'm saying
he wrote those for his piano students. That's incredible to me.
Yeah, I'm saying musically, those guys are so. I mean, just some of the classical stuff. All the stuff. I mean, the Beethoven stuff. I love the Sixth Symphony, the Pastoral. But yeah, Mozart's just a different level. But my point is these guys like. Okay. So let me just say this: I've listened to a fuck ton of classical music. I was into it for a long time. I love Rachmaninoff. I love Mozart. If somebody ever said to me, who are my influences? These motherfuckers would never come up.
Yeah.
It's music I like to listen to. It's I don't even know.
It's not like you can hear it in your compositions. I mean, it's like
no, but it's beautiful music. I mean, the sun shining every day has more influence on me than you know what I'm saying? It's like so it doesn't matter, like all these things, but you can hear, hey Laz, you can hear like if something's obvious, like let me put it to this way. I don't know. Other than the Beatles, I don't know who what's the Elliot Easton, who he was influenced by. I don't care. The guy's fucking awesome. Whoever he's influenced by is not going to impress me as much as Elliot. And Elliot can be Vivaldi's awesome. He can be influenced by all these people. And we might look back at those people and go, why was he influenced? Because there was nothing else there. So, yeah, I mean, like a lot of guitar players grew up influenced by George Harrison, even McCartney on guitar, without knowing that it was McCartney. So anything can be influenced.
George Harrison wrote some of the best Beatles songs, in my opinion.
That's crazy talk.
Well,
other than some, you're going to say...
Here Comes the Sun is awesome.
Here Comes the Sun and Something.
Something was... that was Frank Sinatra's favorite song in the 60s. Did you know that?
Yeah. Again, Frank Sinatra does not give me the... to me, it doesn't legitimize it just because Frank said it. Frank said that's the most beautiful song ever written. Frank's wrong. He's fucking wrong. It's a decent song. It's okay.
For the time, it may have been. I mean,
Lennon has better songs on that album. Paul has better songs.
I mean, I think Strawberry Fields is pretty amazing.
Great song. In My Life. That's a fantastic song. That's a beautiful song. That's better than Something. Off of let me think what else is on Julia off the White Album. Beautiful song.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I like it. I like his solo stuff before the Milk and Honey was good too, like Woman and stuff like that. That was good.
Yeah, no, Lennon was good. Like I said, my problem with Lennon, I don't think all of it was good. And he wasn't very prolific, but Rock and Roll's a terrible album. He makes a lot of bad decisions in the 70s. But I think but I think that McCartney, like, okay, the Beatles break up. They do a solo album. What's his name? Harrison puts out All Things Must Pass, right? It's a triple album.
Yeah, that was a great record.
The guy's got more song. Was anyone shocked that everyone put out an album except Harrison put out a triple album because the guy had so many years of fucking backlog?
Yeah, he was being like, they only let him put a few songs on their records,
That's funny, Rafter. What I'm saying is, but what were the great songs on that album? What Is My Life? What I Feel, I Can't Tell Me What Is My Life. Right? That was a great song. I think If Not For You. I think he covered Dylan's If Not For You. Other than that, it's not that great of a record. Lennon put out the Plastic Ono Band, which had God, which was a great song. God is a concept.
Did it have Instant Karma on it?
No. It had I can't remember what the other song was. But now McCartney comes out with Paul McCartney. McCartney 1, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm Amazed.
Was that Ram?
No, it's called McCartney.
Oh, Ram was the one after that?
Yeah. No, Ram is, it's either 2 or 3.
I think Ram was the first solo one, maybe.
No. It's McCartney.
Okay.
1970.
That was the one where he played all the instruments on it.
Yes.
Right? Like Maybe I'm Amazed.
Yes. Maybe I'm Amazed.
That's
Junk.
a great song.
Every night I just want to get out of my head. Fantastic. But Maybe I'm Amazed, and I'm sorry if anyone doesn't agree. That's the fucking greatest song. It's better than any Beatles song. It's fucking great.
It's one of the first songs I learned how to play on piano.
It's perfect. It's a
just
great
for the
song.
chromatic C, the C run on.
Oh yeah, the walk up, yeah, and then you have Every Night on that album. Every night, you know the song. Every night, I just want to get out. Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on. Every night goes. Every night I just want to get out of my head.
I can hear the guitar.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, now I can. There you go.
Every night I just want to get out of my head. Every night I just want to get out. What is the next line there? No, that's not the right chord. Hold on. Every night I just want to sit and be with you. And be with you.
And that's off of the first one.
Every night. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's called Every Night. Every Night on the first album. Yeah.
Let's
then,
do.
What was the on Ram? Ram. Wait, is Red Rose Speed? No, Ram is second. Then Red Rose Speedway. No, there's Wildlife.
When did the Wings one come out? That was like the fourth one.
Wings is there's. I think the first Wings is Wildlife, isn't it? And then Red Rose Speedway. Because I think Ram was sold as Linda and Paul McCartney, right? And then Wings was after that. I was waiting for you to go. Right? But, I know what those. We're so sorry.
Uncle Albert. Yeah.
Uncle Albert.
Yeah. Do, 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 do,
We're so sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that when it goes into.
Antigen. Yeah. I like Live and Let Die. That was awesome.
Oh. Right. Well, live and let die. Right. It almost like that song from Stone Temple Pilots kind of ripped off the horn. All that section, because it's that.
They ripped off Zeppelin too.
And your heart was an open book. Used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But in this ever-changing world, did you give it a try?
He's not like Axel.
To
live and let die.
To live and let die. Live and let die. Oh, it's fucking killer stuff, man. Yeah, I'm out of tune.
Yeah, me too. Here you eat.
How about you say well and to the corner of your eye.
Yes.
Send an instant comment to me. Initially with love. I always love those chords.
I like the chords on Round and Down.
What is it?
I'm out of tune, man. Let me hear you eat.
Who knows if that's in tune? Oh yeah, that is in tune. That's tuned. Angel of
Let's do in my life. There are places.
There are
Let me choose. Yeah, it goes
for people. I'm so loud. You know that one? That's
Jukebox Hero.
Laguna Sunrise by Sabbath.
Oh, I thought you were doing Jukebox Hero. Do 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 do.
What is that? Remember the song "Lonely Children" by Foreigner? There was like a. But at the end, they do this up. I just love that double lick at the end.
They did some good shit.
Great. Yeah, I mean, like, how about this one here for you? B flat major. To play a B flat major 7. And then play it with the open G string.
Oh, is that the Beatles?
No, it's Paul McCartney's. Someone's knocking at the door.
Oh yeah.
Somebody ringing
That's also the first chord for My Love, isn't it?
Yep. And don't ever ask me why. You know my heart will stay with my love. It's understood. My love does it good. Yeah. My favorite part is when it goes.
Oh, the soldier guitar part. I like the live version. I like the live one where it goes into my love into
Oh, that one's awesome too. You play a C major 7, E minor 7, so C, E minor, F major 7.
Yeah.
And the bass kicks in, you go.
Yeah, he wrote some great stuff. How come he hasn't written a good record in like 40 years?
I don't know.
I keep waiting for him to. Like, he came out with a record a few years ago, and I was like, let me give it a listen, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It was weird.
It's hard for me to say my top 3 anything, Cheech, because on every given week I'm changing what I'm listening to. But Zeppelin for me was always a staple, and I listen to a million things after that. But I love that bass line. That.
He did some great bass lines.
Oh yeah, when you play with another guy in acoustic, like with acoustic stuff, it just.
We should work out some of that shit.
The world is filled with silly love songs. I look around me and I see it isn't so. Oh, it's just great chords. Some people want to fill the world with silly love songs. What's wrong with them? I'd like to know. 'Cause here I go again.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like acoustic bass, yeah. I like an upright bass, yeah. I love you.
I gotta chew this thing. I got this at a yard sale.
Nice.
It's an Indo Fender. It's a Indo Auto made in Indonesia.
Yeah, so many great songs. I mean, like McCartney wrote some. Like he was great.
I love Band on the Run. That whole record.
Maybe I'm the maze. Maybe I'm the lonely one.
I can play the piano.
Yeah. I used to do the whole thing on the guitar too. it's just very beautiful. Yeah, I got a piano over here too.
I'll play it on piano.
How about this one here? See if anyone knows who I'm imitating here. When traveling abroad, in the continental
Satchmo?
I believe one must attempt to be discreet. No, it's my tribute to Tom Waits.
Oh, I thought you were doing Satchmo.
Subsequently, bear in mind
that's actually pretty good.
Position allows you a perspective that's unique. Now bear in mind your itinerary is a blessing and a curse. Your wanderlust won't let you settle down.
Keith Richards played on one of his records.
He played on Walking Spanish or something. It was on the Swordfish trombone. No, not Swordfish. Rain Dogs album he played on.
Oh yeah. Didn't he did also the music for Rumblefish, didn't he?
Who? Oh, I know. I think he was in it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was a cool movie, huh?
Yeah. Now bear in mind to stay within the city limits of a small Midwestern town. Most vagabonds. Let's hear the tickle the ivories for us, will you?
Sure.
Most vagabonds I knowed don't ever want to find the culprit. You got to turn it on.
Oh, it is.
We don't hear it.
All right.
No sound. Is there speakers?
Yeah.
I could hear your fingers hitting the. I could hear your fingers, but I couldn't hear that.
Can you hear the piano now?
No. Is it going through your computer?
No.
Can you hear it? Oh, I love the Ruddles, Hugh. Goose step, mama. Jim, are you hearing it?
Yeah. I had to move this closer.
No, just turn the volume up on the keyboard. Because I can hear your voice. I can hear you breathing.
You can't hear this? Wait, try.
No.
Nothing?
No.
That's weird. I wonder if I touch something. Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Oh, I'm not even hearing anything out of that mic. Tap that mic. I'm not even hearing that mic.
What about now?
No, I'm not hearing that mic. I hear you, but the mic I think is in your computer.
Let me see if I can change it.
Yeah. Go into right, exactly.
Settings.
Soundcheck Studios presents. Yeah, that mic wasn't on. That's why I had him tap it. I was like, I'm not even hearing anything. My mic sounds nice. Check one. We only got a few minutes left. Let me just say thanks for everyone coming out tonight and watching. And I don't know what happened to Joe tonight because he messaged me about having a list and then didn't show. But I'm sure he was beat. But I knew Krellbaugh wasn't going to be here, and Matt. Talk. All right, now it's not working at all. We got to figure that out. Yeah, we got to figure that out. Oh yeah, I haven't seen her in a few weeks. I talked to her this week. I talked to her, and because she was getting ready to go back to school. I'll walk you through what I think has to do with that mic. We'll do that tomorrow, Jim, if you have time. Just call me in the afternoon, and we'll go through that. All right, Q. Yeah, please. I'll send you an invite, or if you want to send it to me, or if you want to come on, just let me know. Everybody, this is Jukebox Jimmy, who can't talk at the moment, but he's giving you the Hang 10. Did I see that? Oh yeah. I'm about to go sit outside and smoke a cigar, and at the moment, my driveway is completely torn up. We're repaving it. Hopefully, it'll be done by Friday, but I'll be sitting out there in what looks like a pile. Thanks, everybody. I want to thank everyone for hanging out, and not much else. I don't get really much to say. I got a lot going on in my life that I just don't have time to think about what to do for this show. It's hot out there, I know. But I got a shipment of cigars in today. So, thank you, Janice. I'm excited. And, I know what I was going to say. Friday night, a good friend of mine and a student of mine is performing in that Allman Brothers band. Do you guys want me to record it and film it? Because I can film it myself and might stream it. And maybe talk during the break. Let me know if that interests you, because if it does, I'll throw it up on a Friday night, considering it's his band playing, and it should be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's they're a really good Allman Brothers cover band, and that's actually today. Before I came on here, I went down to his rehearsal space to dial in his amp a little bit. All right, everybody. This is a day. Jukebox, thanks for coming on. And I'll send you the thing for next week's. But I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll fix this thing so we get you going up. And Barry Bowman, welcome. All right, everyone. Well, have a great night. And let me see. Where's my outro? There it is. All right, everyone, have a great night. Jukebox, have a good one. Great job tonight. Thanks for coming. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. And thank you to all the people that end up watching the show after. You know, it's funny. I don't get many people to watch this show, but I always get close to 500 people watching it. And I'm like, really, is that how many people don't really want to watch? No, I'm kidding. Anyways, a lot of people watch it after. So if you're watching this in the replay and your name is Judd Lufthouse, thanks for watching, Judd. We appreciate you. All right, everyone, thanks so much. Very good.